We started the show, right?
Yeah. Guys.
What?
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Boss Baby.
Let's talk about Boss Baby.
We need a report from Matt Cinema Christman on Boss Baby.
Oh, yeah.
You actually went to see...
I went and saw Boss Baby. It was my friend and I were having dinner, and we're like, oh, what? It's like really, it's too hot, and I'm stupidly wearing pants, and what do we want to do? And it's like, well, let's see what's terrible at the theater. I mean, we saw the last Transformers movie together. You know, we like a good time in the theater, smuggling some rum, and it's like, oh, Boss Baby. That's the stupidest thing we could pick, so we went with it. And so, yeah, we got some booze, and we went in, and it really did deliver. It was incredibly entertaining.
Well, the truth is, I'm no ordinary baby.
Well, no kidding.
I'm on a mission from above.
What we've all seen the poster, and that's basically everyone was responding to.
Yeah.
What is like the premise of
It's
this
the Boss
movie?
Baby. What are you talking about?
But like,
Wait, he's a Bruce Springsteen baby.
Yeah. No. Okay. Basically, in this world, that's what's really fascinating is the world that they create. Is that it really is like a brutal piece of propaganda in its own way. It posits that babies come from a factory from a company called Baby Core. And most babies come to Earth as children, but some babies who, when they're tickled, don't laugh, become managers of Baby Core. And then they all live in, like, they work in an office building where they, like, basically manufacture the other babies and then promote people wanting to have babies on Earth.
Isn't this exactly what Scientologists believe?
I was about to say.
I have to say, as a high person, this is so upsetting to listen to.
No, it's very good. It's excellent, and I loved it. And they send the Boss Baby down to Earth. He's one of the executives to be the little brother
Voiced
of this
by
kid.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, because there's this company called Puppy Co. that's basically like a giant puppy mill that's supposedly coming out with a beautiful, perfect, cute puppy that's going to be so cute that people aren't going to want kids anymore, and so there will be no children.
Wow.
It's basically a prequel to Children of Men.
This is the it's the decadent West.
Yeah, and so they send the Boss Baby down to stop it. But what kind of annoyed me is that what the Boss Baby
This is
does,
white nationalist propaganda. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
what the Boss Baby
kind of
does is
disturbing.
more like corporate espionage. And you wouldn't send somebody from management to do that. You would hire it out to another company. So that wasn't believable.
You see, I'm more middle management for the company.
But what was really like grim and depressing about it is the way that it sets up capitalism as like not just a transient human structure, but as the foundation and basis for all existence. Like the babies are in this corporation.
Get me a double espresso and see if there's some place around here with decent sushi. I'd kill for a spicy tuna roll right about now. Get yourself a little something.
They have money. Like he has money that he gets from working there. So like
That's
they
the
have
dream.
capitalism where humans are literally forged.
Look at him. He wears a suit.
I know. Isn't it cute? He's like a little man.
And some people might say, well, the way the movie is kind of suggests, the way the movie is set up, it sort of suggests that this is all the younger brother imagining, like he's basically dealing with having a younger brother and what it does in his family, and this is like his imagined way of like coping with it. But as Lacan teaches us, ideological fantasies structure reality. So that is really like that's part of what the Boss Baby is. It's to tell us that we cannot escape capitalism anywhere.
Are there adults in the Boss Baby universe?
Yes.
Does he interact with them? And
He does, but he doesn't. He
As
pretends to
baby.
be a regular baby in front of them.
Oh, I see. So it's
Oh,
sort
it's
of like
like
the
Toy
Secret Life
Story.
of Pets.
Right.
Yeah.
The kid's the only one who knows that he's a boss baby,
Okay.
even though he wears a suit and carries a briefcase.
Oh, please. Stop acting like a baby.
You're a baby.
You take that back.
Is there a part where the Boss Baby is like, even I, the Boss Baby, the smartest baby, could not fight against the tyranny of a sick judge ripping me from my father Alec Baldwin's arms and delivering me to my bitch mother Kim Basinger and poisoning my mind against her?
How about this? Glenn Boss Baby.
Well, there is a
shit, yeah.
Glengarry joke. It's in the trailer. He's
I
with
figured
these
it
other
had to be
babies around a conference table, and the kid has a cookie. He goes, "Put the cookie down. Cookies are for closers," which is going to kill among the 4-year-olds who go to see this movie.
The Boss Baby. Put that cookie down. Cookies are for closers.
Check this out. ABC, always be crying.
But the real things that power the movie are is that the Boss Baby, all babies know about this when they're born, but when they stop sucking on a pacifier, they forget it. And also, the boss babies stay babies forever because they drink magic formula that keeps them as babies so they don't grow.
That's just
Sounds like a
steroids. It stunts
millennial.
your growth. And like, if you want your baby to be a baby forever, you're listening. You've somehow bred.
That was the
give
same.
your baby steroids.
That was the milk that that doctor was giving Michael Jackson.
Yes.
It was milk to help him stay a baby forever.
And there's a scene towards the end where the boss baby goes back to Baby Co. having succeeded and gets a huge party, and they're spraying him with formula, and it, honest to God, looks like bukkake. Like we were like looking at each other like, anybody who goes to this movie unattended with a child deserves to be chemically castrated, and including both of us.
He can talk. They all can talk. They're having a meeting. There's something about puppies. It's one big baby conspiracy.
Then they go to, when they're spending time in Baby Co, I'm like, I was just yelling basically under my breath, like, well, does he have a house? Does he go home? Like, are there restaurants and stuff? Like, are there other babies doing like manual labor and things?
Are like
Yeah. Is there a boss baby city or there boss baby municipal
right, because there
workers?
is money. He has a
Are
big
there
wad of
boss baby
hundreds.
couples?
Yeah.
Are there married babies?
So, Boss Baby. So you would recommend going to see a movie
Highly
because it's a
recommend
dumb
Boss
internet
Baby.
joke?
Just go in there. You'll be occupied either by being viscerally upset by the really perfectly rendered digital baby asses. And when we walked out, I was like, holy shit, I'm glad we decided not to see the 3D one. And then also asking questions the entire time about how this is supposed to work, because it's absolutely
The
baffling.
universe is full of holes.
It's totally weird. Like the premise is like they have to get people to want to have babies. Like they have to market having babies, but like there's no role for, because his mom gets pregnant. Like his mom has a belly, but then Boss Baby shows up in a taxi. Like he shows up to their house in a taxi wearing the
Unattended.
suit, unattended, with a suitcase, a briefcase.
I was gonna say, like, you describing the plot of this movie sounds like they gave it to like a team of screenwriters, but like had them base it on a journal that was found in like the home of one of those like Henry Darger style outsider artists.
Yeah,
About, like,
apparently it is based on a book series of children's books.
No, it was David Mamet, actually.
Do the math, kid. There's only so much love to go around. Look, Templeton, the numbers just don't add up. There's not enough love for the two of us.
Professor Wolff, what does the film Boss Baby tell us about contemporary capitalist ideology?
Well, it tells me many things. It tells me that underneath the pretense that everything is working out really pretty well, there's a pretty good understanding, as in that movie, that there's a lot of bitterness, a lot of nastiness, a lot of struggle, a lot of weird kinds of belief that are widely shared. For me, the best moment in that film comes early when the bad new baby, having arrived, explains to the older sibling who's not quite understanding what's going on. He leans across and he says, "There's just not enough love for both of us." You remember that?
Yeah.
He actually has a theory.
So keep quiet, stay out of my way, or there's going to be cutbacks.
It's got to be a fight to the death between the two little ones because there's not enough. That's what American working people are doing. There's not enough money to give you a decent life. So you have to have debts up the wazoo to send your kid to college. You have to do without. You have to, because there's just not enough. It's bullshit in the movie and everyone sees it. And it's bullshit in the economics too, although people don't see it yet. That's my job, is to help people see that there's no problem with amount of money and none of that. Never was. It's only a question of how you go about using it and dividing it and making it work. If you don't want to, yeah, you can give it all to a few people and everybody else is in trouble. But there's no necessity. That's not necessary. That's not built into anything. That's a political struggle, and you either fight it and win or you live with resignation. And that's been the lot of people for a long time.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
So for me, the movie was interesting because it captured the crazy ideology and showed how it shaped the lives of those two little ones because of the fury of that the older one being displaced and the fury of the younger one wanting to be the displacer and needing an ideological story to tell to make it all sound reasonable and necessary when it wasn't.
Also interesting that the Boss Baby, voiced by Alec Baldwin, who famously gave voice to, I think, one of the greatest expressions of capitalist domination and sadism in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Which is referenced in Boss Baby when he says, "Put the cookie down, cookies are for closers," which was a huge hit with all the 8-year-olds who saw that movie.
But is a movie like predicated on like the anxieties around scarcity and competition?
Right.
It is kind of interesting that they're like, okay, well, at the end, he does not defeat the baby. He unifies with the baby, and there's solidarity with him and the baby to overthrow the Boss Baby bureaucracy, if you will.
Yeah, that's the thing that sticks with me is how it presents capitalism as like generative. It's like capitalism is inextricable. You can't get away from it.
Right.
Like it exists before you're born.
Right.
Like there's
you're born into it.
Yeah, there's a factory with machinery and bosses in the place where babies are made. And then even the way that it imagines like reproduction, like it's the conflict between the babies and the puppies, because in the world of Boss Baby, you only have a kid if you want one, and then like the factory makes a baby for you. So they're literally creating need. It's like they're saying that they're not satisfying needs for children or anything. They're creating them. You need to go down to earth to make people want to have the kids. So everything is just in this web of production for its own sake, and the need to create demand for things that aren't necessarily necessary, and that's sort of the generative structure of everything. Is you need people to consume, and you need to if there isn't enough, if they don't need enough, then you make them want something, and then you provide that for them.
I would use it to teach the economics of advertising, because that's what that is.
Yeah.
The company, to make money, has to dump the stuff it's produced. It has to have buyers. If the buyers don't want it, don't need it, don't like it, you've got to fix that. And the way you fix it, if you can, is by inundating them with the advertising, playing on their psychological problems to get them to part with their money and buy the damn thing you've produced. That's why in economics it is so crazy when we teach in conventional economics that production happens in response to consumption. The craziness is to assume that consumption is a given. This comes out of your soul and has nothing to do with what? With what you see every day on every billboard, every minute. We all know that. We're inundated with people spending fortunes of money to shape our desires. But in the economics textbook of the classroom, production is a wonderful arrangement because it meets our needs, almost as if we need to pretend that the producers are not spending big bucks to shape our needs at every chance they get.